Hi dear friends, this is Bob Hatton, this is the Encourager, and I'm so excited that we continue this great story about God and this great plan that He has for us. He wanted Israel to be His people and He wanted to be their God. And because He wanted to be their God, He wanted to dwell in the midst of them. And He showed Moses what he had to do so that God could come and live in the middle of His people. And as Moses came down from the Mount Sinai, he found out that the people of Israel had decided that they wanted to make their own God, even though they had experienced how God had delivered them from Egypt and brought them through the Red Sea. Now they're at the Mount Sinai, and they have experienced something of the awful, of the terrible presence of God in the mountain. And Moses has gone up there and they said, this guy is never going to come back down again. We'll never see him again. So let's make a God according to our imagination. Let's make a God that fits to, what we think. So they build this golden calf. And of course, when Moses does return, and he is very angry, and he deals drastically with this calf, it is melted down, it is burned. He puts it in the water, mixes the ash with the water, and he makes the Israelites drink it all until it's down. Moses, he is very drastic with the way he goes around with these idols. And dear friends, we have idols in our lives if we are honouring things more than we're honouring God. And we need to be very drastic in our dealings with these idols. We need to get rid of them, and we need to trust God for everything. So Moses has come with a blueprint, and God has told him what he should do so that Israel can, so that God can come and live in the center of His people. And this blueprint is what we call the tabernacle, which is a portable temple, a movable temple, and it had an outer court with an altar in there, and then it had the tent proper, and inside this tent proper it was called the holy place, and it was divided into two thirds and a third, and the back third was divided with a curtain, and that's where God was going to live. That was going to be His apartment. And He said, I want you to build a box, and this box has got to be made out of acacia wood, and it's got to be covered then with gold with a lid on top, and on top of the lid there's going to be two little angels, two cherubims, and nobody's got to go in there. I want my peace, that's where my presence will be. That is actually the very place where God would be when He lived here on earth. And the other place, this holy place, there was various furniture. Everything had a symbolic meaning. There were pictures on the wall of animals, of flowers, of trees, and they were all just looking back to the Garden of Eden, to God's original plan that He wants to be amongst His people. He wants to talk to His people. He wants to have fellowship with His people. He wants to be close to them. And this is what the tabernacle was actually trying to demonstrate: God's closeness to the people, God's wanting fellowship, God's invitation for us to come. And they work on this, and there's a lot of detail in the second half of the book of Exodus. It's sometimes a little bit monotonous if you keep reading it, but it all has its symbolic meaning about God coming to live amongst His people. And then the great day comes. It's a dedication of the tabernacle, and God is coming. God is actually moving, and He's going to come to live amongst His people. And when He comes, you can read that in chapter 40 of the book of Exodus. I think this is one of the most dramatic chapters in the whole Bible. He comes and He fills the place with His presence, with His glory, and His glory is heavy. The Hebrew word for glory and the Hebrew word for weight is the same word. He comes with the weight of His presence, and He moves into the temple, and the air is thick. I think it's like smoke. And Moses has such a hunger, such a longing to be with with God. So he wants to follow into the tabernacle, and as he gets to the entrance of the tabernacle, he's not allowed in. He can't go any further because the glory of God, it shuts him out. He can't get any further. And God wants to have fellowship with us, but on the other hand, we're shut off. Even Moses was shut off. Even Moses couldn't enter in. And you know how the plan continues? We come to the next book, the book of Leviticus, and that's actually showing us how we can enter the presence of God. And I'm looking forward to that. Now, tomorrow is a bank holiday here in Germany. It's Ascension Day, when we think about Jesus going back to heaven. So I won't be doing an encouraging word tomorrow, but on Friday I'll be back. I hope you have a good time. God bless you. You're Bob Hatton, your encourager.